entitlement over you.
He did start to become very familiar in the way he spoke to me. Improper.
And thought that you should bestow him with some favor in return. Had brought some right to you and denied it made his assault.
He is very arrogant.
And in such arrogance, sends his solicitor so that you will bend to his will again? Well, that shall not happen. You have been very naive, my darling, and innocent in the face of a man such as that.
Who is it?
Sarah.
This is reckless.
In the circumstances, I cannot blame you for wishing it.
I wish it, but would not request it. Certainly not in the face of the ferocity with which Mr. Soothouse forbade it.
I do not understand. Mary brought your request.
Mistress, I did bring the clothes you asked for.
Sweet girl.
You brought a letter from your mistress to me.
And now I must go, sir. I disobey Sir Arthur. I am truly sorry.
She is not in your service again.
I fear she's in the service of Farmer.
Did they touch? Kiss?
No, sir.
You are to testify in court that they did hotly embrace.
And if I will not?
You will lie for your sister's sake. If she is to have a future, I will not go to the magistrate and say she stole from me, and she will be saved from hanging. A second time. The first by Garrow, the second by you, and Sir Arthur will employ her.
They will use her as a witness in my trial.
Well, it is our trial.
It is an action exclusively between Hill and myself.
You mistake me.
Legally, you do not exist.
You have certainly not imagined me.
And now your husband's imaginings will be presumed as fact.
And we shall be ruined for it. For a pleasure we have yet to take. An intimacy we still do not know.
And think you, therefore, that we should no longer be innocent of what they say we are guilty of?
It would be the most exquisite defeat.
I cannot accept that we become what they say of us, that morally we hand them the case.
And therefore we cannot have
what we crave.
Mr. Soothouse.
What scene lies within?
They're waiting to be married.
Married?
They'll be married as soon as the beds become unoccupied. Then the rites of marriage can be performed.
And you officiate here, as it were?
I keep a convivial house. I'm Mother. Mr. Suithouse, I think you have another question you want to ask.
I merely search for the words to formulate it.
Have you been deceived? Have I deceived you? As Captain Jones?
There is a healthy relationship between you. You are truly engaged to be married?
The relationship between myself and Captain Jones is extremely healthy. We're the dearest of friends.
Friends?
As for marriage,
Yes?
Robert's often been married.
I do not understand.
He's been many a man's husband.
If you tell me this, then any defense is not only undermined, it is broken.
I tell you that I will honestly testify that I've also enjoyed his company. Carnally. That is a truth, if not the truth. But is that not the kind of truth you require from me in the way of his defense?
She is a mask for Captain Jones and runs a molly house. And to make matters worse, it seemed I was taken for a...
Macaroni.
I am confounded by all of this.
I believe it true that she has enjoyed him.
Our defense involving her was clear. That he was too fond of a pretty girl to fall into sodomy. But it appears that despite the pretty girl, he still does so. And mainly, we cannot defend him.
We're not required to defend him for his propensity, but for a crime he says he did not commit.
And you still believe it so?
You have seen Jasker and his wife together. Do you believe them to be sincere?
I do not think I do.
Then perhaps there is a narrative not so simple here. It is certainly not blackmail.
I would only warn you that the law on buggery is not grey. And here, more than in any other, favors the accuser.
We have some difficulty.
In that we are in possession of some evidence about you that, if you should choose to be truthful, means that we cannot defend you.
And similarly, if you do not choose to be truthful, then we cannot trust you.
I see.
A way out of this difficulty is that rather than discuss the particularities of this case, I will put a hypothetical one to you.
By all means.
Let's suppose a situation where a man is of the sodomitical tendency.
Why would we do that?
Let us suppose such a thing for the purpose of argument.
Very well.
Let's suppose that this man is of some little wealth, finds another man of the same tendency. They form an attachment. An utterly consensual relationship, and with it a friendship. One where money is lent freely. We have, I think, already been somewhat down the road of that scenario.
Continue.
They meet regularly. They are aware that the law would treat both of them harshly should they be found out. They risk their lives.
And discovery.
Which comes to pass.
They fear for their exposure, which will mean their lives.
And one of the men betrays the other. He claims he was most grievously assaulted against his will.
Such a situation could turn friends into enemies, desperate only to save their own lives. I imagine.
In this scenario, the man cannot even tell his own lawyer what has happened for fear of incriminating himself.
Terrible situation for all concerned. But one where there has been no coercion, where there is no victim, where, without law, there would be love.
And this unlawful love exposed by the contemplation of a wife.
And a husband unable to confess to the nature of that love instead confesses to its opposite.
A sad hypothesis.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sodomy was committed. Love or not, we cannot defend.
There has been no admission.
Oh, come, Garrow. It is evident.
A man loves another. Any other whom society says he may not, and he must be pilloried for it. Why should I not defend against that?
Oh, you will defend the cause of love, will you? It seems to me that Jasker was quick to disavow that sentiment for the sake of his own neck.
Well, then I shall depend upon the hope that he has not.
My God, you will be a romantic at the Old Bailey. Heaven help us all.
I'm unable to speak, Mr. Garrow. Why are you still awake?
You must speak plain to me of the relationship between yourself and David Jasker.
There is some change here. Earlier you gave advice that such a conversation was impossible.
In my legal defense of you, yes. But not as one man to another. And then tomorrow I may do my duty better as your barrister. You will not speak plainly to me.
I have spent my life hiding from plain view.
Then, Captain Jones, I will be plain with you. In my life, I am in some difficulty. Ruinous accusations have been made against me. Perhaps not so ruinous as the prospect of losing my life, but it may not be worth living if it goes against me. The accusations are false, they're a lie. I am charged with committing adultery with another man's wife. I have not. But I have yearned to. Do yearn to still.
Your secret torments you.
I would dearly love to own it, and for the owning of it to be of no account.
I have took my chances at Lincoln's Inn bog houses. Been married in molly houses. Paraded in St. James's Park and Birdcage Walk. Every excursion in the dark. Out of sight. But David is someone to be loved in the busiest coffee house. Hands held.
Why so?